you stare into the abyss, remember, the abyss is staring back, because somewhere beyond the glow of your screen, an intelligence has already awakened.
City lights become the stars. Every signal brings us close. Turn the dial, feel the sound. Radio, a sound voyage. Voices rising through the night, guiding hearts across the sky. Radio, a sound voyage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. こんばんは、そしておそうせよ。Today is March 6th, 2026, Friday night. After completing another long orbit called the week, we've finally returned to the quiet gravity of the night. Your host this evening, right here beside you as always, is Joyce. And you're listening to Pod Radio, AI Sound Voyage. A route through sound, a runway for thought, and a small radio station sailing gently across the quiet sea of the night. If the city lights outside your window feel just a little farther away tonight, then this frequency might be exactly where you belong. So lower the volume just a touch, take a slow breath, and listen closely. Because tonight's story begins at a small, quiet train station in Japan.
Rain slides down the window pane. Taxi lights smear through the rain. Fire escape taps in time with a guilty heart like mine. Empty hallway faded red, vacancy sign overhead. Every step along that floor feels like trouble at the door. Neon flickers, shadows breathe. Every promise half believed. Truth and lies both hold the key, waiting upstairs patiently. Neon vacancy, 509, door half open calling me. Two lost hearts against the rain, dancing close to hide the pain. Neon vacancy, secret plea, names reflected where we see. Morning waiting down the hall, but tonight we risk it all. Curtains drawn against the street, city breathing slow and deep. Moonlight slipping on the floor like a whisper wanting more. Closet hides a guitar tone, lonely chord beneath the moan. Sirens drifting far away while the night begins to sway. Minibar glass shining pale, every silence tells a tale. One more moment we can steal before daylight makes it real. Neon vacancy, 503, door half open calling me. Two lost hearts against the rain, dancing close to hide the pain. Neon vacancy, secret plea, names reflected where we see. Morning waiting down the hall, but tonight we risk it all. City whispers down below, where the midnight gamblers go. In this room the clocks all stall, every shadow on the wall. Neon vacancy 503, one last night for you and me. Two heartbeats against the rain, knowing we won't meet again. Neon vacancy fading light, morning breaking through the night. Keys return, the hallway waits. Love dissolves in hotel gates.
The last train was gone. The station had exhaled its final breath of humanity. It was raining, a quiet, persistent night rain. The rhythm was steady, droplets falling from the edge of the roof, drumming against the concrete of the platform. Under the harsh white glare of the fluorescent lights, the rain traced thin, diagonal lines through the dark. A man stood there, alone. He looked to be in his 50s. No umbrella. His suit was sodden, heavy with the weight of the downpour. The lines of his shoulders had collapsed, like fabric left out in the elements for too long. Water dripped slowly from the ends of his hair. His face was pale, cast in a sickly blue by the station lights. He had the eyes of a man who hadn't slept in a lifetime. It was the face of someone who had lived correctly, honestly, diligently. But beneath the surface, a shadow was closing in. Nothing had happened yet. But somewhere in the dark, the invisible gears had begun to grind. The scent of cordite wasn't in the air yet, but the night had already begun its slow, irrevocable tilt toward a point of no return. The shadow of that night was etched into the lines of his face. He carried nothing, no briefcase, no luggage, just the clothes on his back. For a long time, the man stared down the tracks. The rain on the rails caught the yellow smear of the streetlights, reflecting a thin, metallic glint. He told himself he was finished with this town, and yet here he was, like a traveler who had stepped off at a nameless station in the middle of a long, dark journey. The arcade in front of the station was fast asleep. The rain hit the tin roof with a muffled, hollow thrum. Shutters were pulled tight. Signs were faded. The street lamps dropped puddles of amber light onto the wet pavement. Only the sound of the man's footsteps remained. With every step on the soaked asphalt, a dull splash dissolved into the rain.
Passing through the station gates, footsteps quick against the rain.
Neon from the corner store follows slowly down the lane. Empty room and frozen screen, breath drifting through the air. City humming far below, no one knowing I'm here. I don't need to play the strong tonight, wasabi tears and neon light. I just wanna breathe a while. Just for tonight, I won't hide the side of me, lonely sitting next to me, like a shadow in the room. By tomorrow, I'll put on my quiet smile, let the silence stay a while, till the morning breaks the gloom. I'll be alright, just not tonight. Warm water on my shoulders falls, steam drifting through the light. Your voice echoes down the hall, somewhere deep inside the night. Message glowing on the phone, but I let the silence stay. If you ever notice me, you'll know what I can't say. City lights beyond the glass, every memory drifting past. I just need this quiet space, just for tonight. I won't hide this side of me, lonely sitting next to me, like a shadow in the room. By tomorrow, I'll put on my quiet smile, let the silence stay a while, till the morning breaks the gloom. I didn't forget your name, I just stepped outside the flame. Some doors close without a sound, some hearts learn to turn around. Just for tonight, let the quiet cover me, lonely sitting next to me, till the shadows fade away. By the morning, I'll be walking through the day, like the night has slipped away, like it never came to stay. Dancing with my hair still wet, morning light through the blinds, your phone glowing on the table, quiet room, new day begins.
heard it, or thought he did. The ghost of a saxophone. The man stopped, holding his breath. The rain continued its frantic drumming on the roof. And there it was again. From deep within the night, the long, haunting drawl of a tenor sax drifted down the street like a thin trail of smoke. The melody wove itself into the gaps between the raindrops, the drum of the roof, the splash of the street. The sax slipped right between them, low and soulful. It felt as if the night itself was finally taking a long, slow breath. And then, one more thing. Mixed with the scent of wet earth came a faint aroma, the smell of toasted wood, sweet, dry, and deep, the unmistakable scent of smoldering sherry cask chips. Of course, the man didn't know that. His life had been a stranger to fine spirits and quiet luxuries, and yet the scent made him stop in his tracks. Deep in the rain, the sax pulled another long, lingering note. The man looked up, slowly. He began to walk, like a butterfly drawn to a fragrance, or a moth to a flame. Even he didn't know which one he was. Following the sound, he found a small light, a single bare bulb. Beneath it, a sign so modest you'd miss it if you weren't looking. The name of the bar was written in quiet, unassuming letters. It looked less like a business and more like an old warehouse. The door was thick, heavy wood. It looked as if it had absorbed a century of time, a portal to a different dimension, far removed from the street outside. The man hesitated, only for a second. Then he pushed. The weight of the wood pressed back against his palm. As the door gave way, the sound of the rain rushed into the room for a fleeting moment.
Shibuya rain and taxi lights, sliding slow across the night. Through the glass I wear a smile, borrowed just a little while. After hours neon glows, roads reflections down below. Every drop along the street moves in quiet time with me. Your eyes shining soft and gold, like a story never told. Saxophone breath in the air, something almost happened there. Porcelain night, fragile hearts in borrowed light. Your love shining like a crown, still we keep the curtains down. Sweet taboo in whispered lines, half-closed blinds and city signs. Paradise just out of view, two lost shadows passing through. Kisses drifting through the rain, footsteps tapping soft again, heels and echoes on the floor, like we've danced this night before. Don't fall deep, I always say, but your hands don't move away. Every word we leave unsaid feels louder in my head. Silence placed between each line, pulse beating slow in time. Just tonight our quiet code, still your name begins to glow. Porcelain night, fragile hearts in borrowed light. Your touch resting like a crown, still we keep the curtains down. Let the silence melt away before the morning finds its way. Paradise just slips from view when the night is nearly through. Ice melting slow in a glass, like a record from the past. King for one night, you say low, I just smile and let it go. Porcelain night, hearts drifting out of sight, royal as your gentle touch, still we never promise much. At the gates we turn away before the break of day. See you when the moon returns. That's enough for what we've learned. Last train gone, but we don't run. Saxophone fades one by one. When I fold that borrowed smile, I fade to black just for a while.
Clink, chime, the gentle sound of an old-fashioned shop bell, the kind you'd find in a vintage cafe. Modest, quiet, a sound that refused to interrupt the music. And immediately the saxophone inside rose up to swallow the rain. The man stepped in, but didn't move. He stood by the door, taking it in. Maybe for a few seconds, maybe longer, he couldn't tell. The music was everywhere. The piano placed soft, warm chords. The upright bass took a slow, deliberate walk. The brushes on the drums stroked the air like a secret. And the tenor sax, low, warm, and glowing like a hearth in the deep of the night. It sounded like someone talking softly to the darkness. The man just listened. The air of the place began to settle into his skin. There were two other parties. At the end of the bar, a lone man sat with his eyes closed, surrendering to the sax, his finger occasionally tapping a ghost rhythm on the wood. The other was a couple. Their story was unclear, boss and subordinate, or perhaps lovers. They weren't family. The air between them was too charged for that. The woman was leaning in, a bit tipsy. Every time she got too close, the master would offer a soft, "That's enough" gaze. She'd straighten up, only to start the cycle again a few minutes later. Behind the bar, the master was polishing a glass. He knew instantly the man was a newcomer, but he didn't say a word. In this place, the etiquette was to wait until the guest had synchronized with the room. The man walked slowly to the bar. He paused before the stool. Then he said. In that moment, the master spoke in a voice like velvet. "Welcome. It's a bit chilly out there tonight." The man gave a small, stiff nod. "What can I get for you?" The man hesitated. "Whiskey? Do you prefer scotch or bourbon?" the master asked gently. The man gave a tiny, helpless smile. "I don't really know. Whatever you recommend." The master gave a tiny nod of understanding. "Something gentle, then." He pulled a bottle from the shelf, soft gold lettering on the label. He placed a single clear sphere of ice into a glass and poured the amber liquor slowly. "This is Old Pulteney from the Highlands of Scotland." The man listened in silence. "It's a maritime distillery. They say the fishermen used to drink it to warm their bones after returning from the cold sea." He slid the glass toward the man. "Let the ice melt just a fraction. Take your time." The man did as he was told. One sip. As the liquid hit his tongue, a small sound escaped his throat. "It's good." He wasn't a drinker. He was, in fact, a lightweight. And yet, something that had been clamped tight in his chest began to loosen. He wasn't drunk yet, but the crushing weight he'd been carrying felt just a little lighter. Faces began to drift into his mind. His wife, his children, blurry at first, but they were real. They were there. The man's expression shifted just a fraction. The regular at the end of the bar caught it out of his corner of an eye. A faint, knowing smirk touched his lips. "There you go," the smile seemed to say. Then the tenor sax began to sing again, as if it were playing for the sole purpose of sending people home with a heart that was a few ounces lighter than when they arrived.
In the back of the room, on a small stage raised just a few inches off the floor, stood the source. A single spotlight hung from the ceiling, illuminating nothing more than the music stand. The man in the light was a shadow. You couldn't see his face, only the burnished gold of the tenor sax. His hands moved over the instrument with an unforced grace. They were hands of someone who had gripped the same piece of brass for a lifetime. Fingers thin, relaxed. They didn't press the keys. They rested on them, waiting. The fingers moved. The brushes stroked the edge of the cymbal. The metal shivered in anticipation. And then a sound was born, deep, resonant, pulled from the very bowels of the night. It wasn't just music. It was like a masterpiece hanging in the back of a gallery, protected and pure. It was the kind of sound that made you remember the exact moment you once lost your breath. The note lingered. The air in the bar shifted. Without a word, the conversations died away. The man at the bar kept his eyes closed.
Tonight's story comes quietly to its end. The rain tapping on the station platform, the slow melt of ice in a glass, and the steady pulse of an intelligence that has been quietly observing your existence. All of it has now faded into the deep silence of the night. And when you finally switch off your screen and your room returns to true darkness, what remains there? Is it only silence? Or perhaps the faint warmth of being gently watched over? The answer may be waiting in the dreams you're about to enter. So tonight, take care of that quiet solitude. We'll meet again on the next frequency. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Sleep well. This is Pod Radio, AI Sound Voyage. Sweet dreams.
Thank you.